Hola! Greetings from the sunny Portugal.
3 months ago we started our trip from Finland and decided to spend this winter here in Portugal.
Exactly. In this episode we go through how much money we did spend driving from the Nordic countries all the way to South Europe.
We drove to Portugal quite straight. We didn't do much of the detours there because it was getting cold, so we just tried to come to the south and to the warmness.
We travel on a low budget, so it means we don't stay overnight in a paid campsite, and also we search for the cheap diesel, and we do try to avoid toll roads.
Yeah, I said we came here fast, but 3 months from Finland to Portugal is fast for us.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would take like 5 months. But this time we really took fast route.
Exactly. Our main expense is fuel. So we did drive 3,600 kilometers all the way from Finland to Portugal.
Yeah, it's a long trip, and we have to take 2 ferries, so one ferry depends on the route that we take. And yeah, it's always really hard to start traveling for Finland.
You always have to take a ferry, no matter what. So this time we took a ferry from Naantali to Kapellskär. So it's basically Turku from Stockholm, and it costed only 50 euros.
And we drove through Sweden and took a ferry from Sweden
Trelleborg.
Straight to Germany.
Lübeck, yeah.
And from there we drove through Germany to Romantis Road, and from there to Mulhouse, and then just straight through the France to Spain.
So the ferry from Finland to Sweden costed only 50 euros, and ferry from Sweden to Germany costed 100 euros.
Approximately. And you always, when you come from Sweden, you either take a ferry or you take the really expensive bridges that go to Denmark. So there is always, you have to find the balance, which route you take.
Yeah, but there's several options, and you can go to Tallinn and travel the Baltic states, but we have done it so many times, so this time we took to Sweden.
Yeah.
Our diesel consumption in this pickup camper is quite low. We were really surprised.
It's only 11 liters per 100 kilometers. Driving here to Portugal, it took us 540 euros in diesel.
Yeah.
We drive with the truck, so we are maximum of 92 kilometers per hour that we are driving. And on a up hills, somewhere around 60.
Yeah. And we try to search for cheap diesel and then fill our diesel tank. And if we cannot find it, we will take more expensive diesel, only a few drops, and then search for the cheaper prices, so it saves a lot of money.
Yeah, we usually use Google Maps. You don't get like exact prices of the diesel at the moment, but you can use it to find where is the more inexpensive diesel.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty trustworthy.
Yeah. We try to avoid toll roads, you know. We always go in no toll roads. But this time we took, I think, 3 toll roads in France, and they were like 10 euros per piece.
Yeah, so 30 euros in total.
And we always use services like Tollguru, where you can find how much each section of the toll road costs. So if there's like a section that you pay just 10 euros and you drive like 300 for 400 kilometers and save 3 or 4 hours, then it might be worth it.
Yeah.
So if you go through toll roads, through France, without worrying the world, it's something around 150 euros. So we paid only 30 euros, and it was quite straight roads, not that much roundabouts this time.
One expense that we have is LPG. So we use LPG to cooking and heating our shower water. And during this 3-month road trip to Portugal, we did use 12
euros worth of LPG.
So it's 14 liters. Not much if you compare our LPG usage in a camper van which we owned previously.
So the heating was with LPG, the fridge was with LPG, so now it's so much lower.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. We took the hot shower maybe every day or every other day. So it's our pleasures.
It's luxury travels.
Yeah. And
it's the reason why we can sit next to each other.
Yeah.
Hygiene, very important in van life.
And for the heating the camper itself, we use diesel heater and firewood. The diesel heater will come total of 12 euros also.
Yeah, so not much. The nights have been freezing, but otherwise we don't really use our heater. This camper is so well insulated.
So if we use the heater, we don't have to use it a lot.
Yeah, and firewood, we will gather it around the forest. There's always some extra branches that have fallen to the ground and are dry and ready to use.
Yeah, so we don't use that much like a firewood. For one evening, it's like a bunch of sticks around this size.
And we are toasting. This is basically a sauna.
Yeah, after that. So it's easy to find them from the forest.
Water, drinking water, and water for bathing. We always find free public taps that we take water. We also drink it.
And also natural springs in some part of the Europes.
And rivers.
And rivers.
We go bathe in the rivers.
Yes.
We don't drink river water.
Yeah. Also those camper stops, especially here in Western Europe, they are everywhere, so it's easy to find water.
Yeah. We don't buy water, we just use the public taps.
Yeah. So we don't buy bottled water or buy water from anywhere. We always find free place to get the water. Every
it's
6
easy.
days. So every week we have to find some public water tap, and it has been working great.
One of the most biggest expense has been groceries, so food that we eat.
So it's 500 euros per month, so 1,500 euros
to get here.
Between Finland, there is expensive countries like Sweden and France, but there are also those more inexpensive countries like Germany
and Spain.
So we always try to stock up on those countries. And yeah, good food and
fresh
healthy food.
Yeah.
Vegetables.
And we cook our own meals, so we don't go out to eat.
Yeah. And 500 euros, yeah, we have to look some budget things that we buy, but generally we buy a healthy food.
Normal food.
Yeah. We have already some our favorite things on the grocery store in Spain, in France, in Germany,
in Portugal,
and in Sweden, and in Poland. And
what is our favorite thing in Sweden? Coffee. Swedish coffee is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really nice. Part of the fun.
One thing where we spend our money is the internet. Gotta have a data all the time.
And also we have to have a phone numbers in Finland, because every service nowadays uses...
you have to identify yourself with your phone number, so we don't want to lose our own Finnish phone numbers, so that's why we are paying for those. And we always buy a
local prepaid for the data.
Yeah. And so far we have used 90 euros for phones and internet.
So it's 30 euros per month,
yeah,
approximately. And why we buy a local prepaid in top of our own numbers, where is also roaming data, because we use a lot of data, like 200 gigabytes of data. Or
making these videos.
They use already like 40 to 50 gigabytes.
Yeah, and Joni studies full time. We download lots of maps and informative packages.
Movies.
Yeah, streaming movies, me guilty.
So there's a lot of data that is going, so that's why it's
we are happy to pay.
Yeah,
that.
It's a budget-friendly way of getting the internet, local prepaids.
Yeah, and it's our entertainment. We don't have a separate entertainment category.
And for the insurance, we pay 41 euros per month, so it's total of 123 euros.
And it's an insurance for this vehicle.
And it's a full casco, so it has everything like a roadside assistance to everything.
Yeah, and I guess the price is great, and it's the only insurance company that insures this old vehicle.
Yeah, so our truck is 25-year-old, so in Finland at least you cannot get the casco insurance for older vehicles.
Yeah.
And because this camper part is part of the insurance policy, it's good to have with that price.
Then one boring thing, making laundry, I hate it. On average we have a 13 kilos laundry each month, dirty laundry, and we have to wash it. And we use self-services laundrettes.
And total coming here, it has been 39 euros. So 13 euros per month. 13 kilos is quite low because we basically use t-shirts. We try to be on those temperatures when you can use t-shirts. And the laundry prices, they vary a lot in Europe. For example, in Germany it's approximately 1 euro per kilo, and in Spain it's half of that, so 50 cents per kilo.
Yeah.
So it's a cost that is really convenient for us. We can get the clean and dry laundry straight to our cupboards.
Yeah.
We don't dry them here because it would be too much
creating moisture
and too much hassle. So it's so much nicer to get the dry laundry straight to your closet, and it's not that big of a cost.
Yeah. Usually they are near the shopping center and grocery store, so we just leave the laundry there and go shopping. And a total, what cost?
To drive to Portugal from Finland
Is
2,506 euros.
And if you divide this in 3 months, which it took us to drive here,
It's 835 euros per month.
I think it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I think too.
Because you travel with your home.
And I thought that this truck would consume like 60 euros.
Okay.
Google, shut up.
We are being listened.
Yes.
And we travel with our home, everything we own with this thing.
And still it consumes 11 liters per 100 kilometers. I thought it would be 16 or something.
We are really happy, surprised
Yeah.
of the low consumption Katila.
And we have 3,000 kilometers to Portugal. It's a long way to drive.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm so jealous about German people when they are in the middle of Europe there, and it's like 2-hour drive to Spain and a 3-hour drive to Portugal.
4 hours to Greece, everywhere. 2 hours to Norway. Yeah.
So we are in Finland, like it's 5 hours and I'm not even in Germany.
Yeah, and always have to take the ferry.
Yeah.
But this is great way to travel, and this is great way to live, and I wouldn't change this to anything else.
Yeah. And getting away from Finnish winter is it's so worth it.
Yeah. Days are not always that warm, but here's so much more sunshine, so it helps a lot.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours more sunlight, even autumn time, and it's like 5 hours more sunshine in the winter time. So you don't
do the math.
You don't get depressed here.
No.
And there was this lady that commented me walking on t-shirt. I thought like this is like summery weather for us.
Yeah.
So loving it a lot. It's really enjoyable to spend the winter here.
And we are glad we are here.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching our videos.
Yes.
Hopefully you can hop onto your vehicle and drive to
South.
one day.
Yes.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.